guys, welcome back to the channel, and...
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight.
Now, while this isn't my usual content, I have had this idea swinging back and forth through my mind for a while, but I had no clue when to go through with it. Then, I noticed the month of October creeping up like Michael Myers, so I waited for the 1st of October, and now that the time has come around, there is no better time than now. And you must be wondering, what am I gonna do? Well, with the beginning of October and my love for Jason Voorhees, I mean, look at this shit, holy hell, that's a lot of Jason. I have chosen to create a video telling the backstory of Jason, along with some of my own personal theories thrown in. I really hope you enjoy it, and of course, happy October. Our story begins on June 13th, 1946, with the birth of Jason Voorhees to Pamela and Elias Voorhees. Though likely to Jason's deformities, Elias had divorced Pamela and left her alone with Jason. Not much is known about Jason's childhood, apart from the fact that his mother, Pamela Voorhees, had homeschooled him for most of his life, along with being extremely protective over him. And, well, when you're like me, you know that can lead to some, odd things. While we aren't given a specific date or year when Pamela got the job at Camp Crystal Lake, it is clear that she got the job long before Jason drowned. Speaking of... Now this is where we get into the real meat and potatoes of the Friday the 13th lore. On June 13th, 1957, Jason's 11th birthday, trying to get away from a group of kids that were mocking him, along with small amounts of physical assault, jumped into the lake as seen in Freddy vs. Jason. While this was going on, the two counselors who were supposed to be watching them were off fucking. Pamela, reasonably filled with grief, blamed the two counselors for her son's death and vowed to take her revenge. Moments later, she went to the police, thus began the search for Jason, who somehow vanished from the lake. So not only is he a killer, but he's also a magician. All kidding aside, the reason Jason Voorhees does not appear in the lake is due to a small detail that was in the movie Jason Goes to Hell. Do you see it? If not, I'll just tell you. In Jason Goes to Hell, you can find the famous Book of the Dead from the Evil Dead series, implying that in a moment of grief, Pamela uses the book to bring Jason Voorhees back to life. This being confirmed by the director of Jason Goes to Hell in an interview with Slashing Cast.
If Pamela was so distraught over the loss of her son, wouldn't she look anywhere for answers, even the occult, to bring her child back? And what if she did bring Jason back? And what if she used, what if she used the Book of the Dead to bring him back? And she did, Pet Sematary style. But what came back was her sweet boy plus hell. Well, guess what? Now you give me anything. Now Jason can be anything. It justifies everything that happens through the whole run of the series, and it makes it all one timeline. Really simple. So I was like, great. She made a deal with the devil. And now Jason is Hell's assassin.
Though other Friday the 13th media, such as Friday the 13th Vengeance, a Friday the 13th fan film, shows Elias Voorhees carrying Jason out of the lake at night and using the Book of the Dead to bring him back his boy. Now, in the 23 years from Jason's death to the first film, we hear a lot of what Pamela has done to try and stop the camp from opening. But this video isn't about her. This video is about her son, Jason.
No shit.
Well, we know next to nothing, except that he lived like a hermit, just living off the land, until June 13th, 1979. At the age of 33, Jason walked in on his own mother's death. Now this is where we meet our bankhead Jason, a whole 2 months after the first movie. Now the question you might have is, why 2 months? Well, my theory is that he followed Alice back to her home, which most likely took 2 months to do so, just to get revenge on her for killing his mother. Well, we got a Shrek-style walking montage, but we can't all have nice things. Now the main events of Part 2 take place 5 years after the events of the first film, on June 13th, 1984, which would make Jason Voorhees 38 years old onwards, since Part 3 takes place after 2 and Part 4 takes place after 3. Now this normally would be the end of the video, right? Well... In this segment, I'll be talking about the changes made to the story, mostly about how Jason drowned referenced in tape number 4.
Having sex was more important.
Mrs. Voorhees, we are going to stop now. We're going to get you some water and...
He couldn't swim. Did you know that? I tried to teach him, but he was terrified of the water.
I'm going to send Deputy Kroger to the diner. What would you like to eat? Captain, could you shut off the tape recorder, please?
Why would he go out there in that tiny little boat? He was trying to be brave. He wanted Mommy to know he was a brave boy.
They also made a huge change to Jason's father, referenced in tape number 6, 7, and 18.
Testing? Okay, Mrs. Voorhees. Oh, I'm sorry. Would you prefer I call you Pamela? Ma'am, do you have a preference?
Joe, let's just get on with it.
Yes, sir. Mrs. Voorhees, you said Jason was your only child, that's correct?
Jason is my only son.
And his father, deceased since 19...
I don't know. I don't know where he is.
You mean where he's buried, ma'am?
No. I don't know where Jason's father is. I haven't seen him since he...
Let me see that. Mrs. Voorhees, this statement says you are widowed, that your husband is dead.
My husband was killed, but he was not Jason's father.
You were married before, ma'am?
No, this man did not marry me. We met... It doesn't matter where we met. He held me down by my throat. He forced himself into me. He made me stare into his eyes as he...
Raped you, ma'am?
I tried to stop him.
But he was too strong.
It was his eyes. His eyes were... He had so much hatred. I couldn't stop him. He'd kill me.
Did you report this?
Pamela, did you ever report him?
What was done was done. It didn't matter anymore. Nothing mattered. I just needed to take care of my son. My dear Jason.
Okay, Mrs. Voorhees, why don't you tell me again?
About Jason's father? I don't know his name. He never said a word to me that night. He just did what he wanted to me, and then left me there, bleeding.
And after all these years, you've not seen him again?
I would never, ever want to see him again. Ever.
Then Jason never knew his real father.
Along with changing the fate of Elias, referenced in tape number 16 and 18.
Is it recording now?
Yes, sir. That fixed it.
This is Police Chief Michael Kelly of the Crystal Lake Sheriff's Department. Today is June 15th, 1957. The time is 9:54 p.m. This recording is the confession of Pamela Voorhees to the murder of Elias Voorhees, her husband, and father of son Jason.
No, I did not say that.
Ma'am, you just told me a few minutes ago you killed your husband, and you agreed to let us tape your confession.
I married Elias because he was strong. I thought he would protect us.
Protect you?
Yes, from him. I could feel he was out there, watching us, wanting to take Jason away from me.
So why would you want to kill your husband Elias?
Because he was hurting your son?
Joe, let her answer. Why did you kill him?
Because Jason wanted me to. He told me to. Kill him, Mommy. He's hurting me, Mommy. You kill him.
So, in the game's timeline, Pamela was raped by a man that was not Elias, gave birth to Jason, then married Elias, who would beat Jason to no end, which caused Jason to tell his mom to kill Elias, which she did, and years later, Jason drowned by going out on a boat alone and fell out of said boat. Apart from those major story changes, the story is still the same from the movies. And yeah, that's the story of Jason Voorhees with my own personal theories mixed in. I really hoped you enjoyed this, and if you'd be so kind as to like the video, share the video, and comment what you thought of this, or let me know if you want to see something similar. Again, I hope you enjoyed, and as always, have a good day.